Welcome to Storytime with Tabitha. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're reading If I Lived with Noah by Pamela, Moritz. If I Lived with Noah. It's just a big rainstorm, so don't be afraid. We're under the covers and warm. Let's all close our eyes and pretend we're with Noah. Imagine an ark and a storm. If I saw the animals boarding the ark as Noah stood by with his staff, I'd say, "I can help with the animals, sir." He'd welcome me on with a laugh. And after an hour, we'd hear thunder roar. We'd watch all the rain and the lightning. I'd comfort the animals hiding below. "I know," I would say, "storms are frightening." If I lived with Noah, I'd sweep and I'd mop. I'd work hard and try not to tire. I'd shower the animals out in the rain and let them dry out by the fire. I'd learn how to speak every animal's language so we'd understand one another. At times we would argue, but mostly we'd play. I'd be like an animal brother. But sometimes we'd feel there was nothing to do. "This boat is so boring," they'd shout. "Does anyone care that we need some fresh air? Please open the doors, let us out." So then I would build them a great wooden board and hammer it onto the rim. The sun would peek out and I'd gather my friends. We'd jump in the sea for a swim. If one day we noticed a small leaking crack, then Noah would shout, "What a bummer!" He'd look at me panicked and say, "I can't fix it. Oh, why did I not bring a plumber?" I'd first find the spiders. I'd call them together. "We need sticky webs. Save our ship." They'd quickly spin webs that would cover the crack. Their patches would last the whole trip. And then to the elephants, "Please use your trunks and suck up that water," I'd cry. They'd toss all the water right into the ocean and make sure the flooring stayed dry. And what if one day both the elephants sneezed, the zebras and deer had sore throats? And what if the cobras and camels had coughs, the chickens, the turtles, the goats? If Noah were busy, then how could I help them? Alone, I could not tend them all. So then in a flash, I would realize the answer. "Hey, monkeys, come help," I would call. They both would come running and climbing to help. We'd hand out the tissues and tea. "I have the best animal friends," I would say. I'm sure they would nod and agree. If I lived with Noah, I'd tell lots of stories. They'd listen and ask me for more. "Oh no, now it's bedtime," I'd say. "Close your eyes. Tomorrow we'll look for the shore." And early each morning, we'd all look together, till one day, "Hey, Noah," I'd shout. "What's that in the distance? Is that a small speck? Quick, Noah, the dove, send her out." The dove would return with a branch from a tree. I'd say, "You found land. Thank you, friend." We'd steer the great ark toward the shore, and we'd know our voyage was now at its end. The animals slowly would walk off the ark. They'd look at me sadly and stay. Please go, I would tell them. You must build your homes. I'll miss you, but go. It's okay. I'd look all around me at God's wondrous creatures and cry, I'm so glad I was here. I'll always remember our journey together. I love you, I'd say, and they'd cheer. Then Noah would say, you brought laughter and warmth, even when it was rainy and dark. And so we have made you a small parting gift, and they'd give me my very own ark.